And welcome back to the Dawn Show. Chef George Hurtadas is my guest today. It's so good to have you here. It smells great in the studio right now.
And we haven't even done anything yet.
It's just all of these great ingredients. So what are we going to make for the first course here, Chef?
The first thing we're going to do is a nice simple chicken satay. It's a nice appetizer. We're doing a lot of fall flavors, and then we're going to go to an Italian prosciutto. So what we're doing is we're just going to take this nice chicken tenderloin that we have on the skewers. We're going to drizzle it with a little olive oil.
Is that extra virgin?
This is extra virgin olive oil. I like to cook with, great ingredients, and, olive oil is just one of those things that just love to use. We got a little Greek sea salt here.
Nice. Now, do you get the organic chicken? Do you get into all the, I know your wife does, but do you get into that, or?
I try to get into it as much as possible. Sometimes you don't have that opportunity, but whenever I can, I try to get, whatever's local, whatever's kind of in season especially, and we go with it from there. Just, I try to stay away from the processed and the things just because they add so much junk and so much chemicals into everything.
So you've got the salt, the pepper, the ground pepper, and
a little curry powder and a little turmeric.
Okay. And you're just kind of pinching in.
Pinching it on. You don't want to have it any too strong of flavors because these flavors that we're using, a lot of Indian flavors right here on this dish, they are, they pack a punch. It's not light flavors. It's very bold, so you don't want to really overpower the chicken. And we got a nice peanut sauce that's going to accompany it, so you don't want to go too crazy with it. Now, while this is cooking, we're going to start with our Italian bruschetta.
I'm going to move the wine bottle so that we can check out your grill.
Sounds good. Well, while you're moving it, why don't you pour some wine?
I know, right? We're like Hoda and Kathy Lee. You can be Kathy Lee.
Oh, geez, thanks.
So how do you know which wine to put this with?
With the dishes that we were doing, because there's a lot of bold flavors, and especially with this Italian bruschetta dish that we're going to make now, it's got a little sweetness because we've got dry figs, we have honey, it's got a little saltiness from the prosciutto di Parma and the goat cheese. So what I did was I decided to go with a nice German Riesling.
Okay, and this would be very sweet.
It's got a nice little sweetness, but it's not anything overpowering.
Okay. And is this local? Is this wine a local?
This is not. That's actually coming from Germany.
Okay.
The German Rieslings just have so much more flavor. I think California is still a little lacking with when it comes to the Rieslings, but a lot of their Chardonnays, their Cabernets have a lot of nice flavor. So what we did here is we just cut this bread, and what I did was I got cranberry raisin pecan bread. Just had a nice little dynamic to it, and what we're going to use is a cutting board as our serving plate.
Nice.
And like I said, these are nice dishes that you can use when you get family coming over for the fall. Just some really nice, simple dishes. And
with this, you cut them pretty thick. I mean, they're like an inch, maybe almost an inch thick.
Yeah, almost an inch thick, because you want it to not fall apart when the people start eating it. So why don't you help me out a little bit here?
Okay.
Why don't you take some of the prosciutto di Parma and put a little bit on each piece.
Okay.
And I'm going to just kind of turn the chicken
You got it on the wax
bit.
paper? Like how much? Like this much?
I would say one piece on each one.
The whole thing. Okay.
We're Greek. We like a lot of food.
All right.
No stingy meals here.
See, I'm always doing the low fat, low.
Well, when you look at this, there's.
Yeah, this is actually no carbs except the bread.
Except for the bread. This one has a lot going on. But what you're going to see with satay, there's really not a lot going on there. So it's a very healthy dish. The scallop dish we're going to make next.
The scallops are like free.
That's nothing. No.
And just for the crew, I did just wash my hands, so just.
We all wash our hands.
That's right.
And while you're doing that, what I'm going to do is we've got a little crumbled goat cheese here.
Oh, goat cheese is the best. Has that creamy flavor to it.
The creaminess, it's got a little saltiness, which is going to complement the dry figs.
Is that enough prosciutto?
Yeah, that's beautiful. And what I like when I do dishes, I like that natural kind of look to it. I like the fact that it falls, a little bit of the goat cheese falls on the cutting board a little bit. It just adds a little bit of that less industrial look to it and more of that natural rustic home look. Here we've got just some dry figs that we sliced up.
And figs are healthy too. They're so good for you. Everybody's always talking about figs. They're loaded with antioxidants and all kinds of good stuff.
And then the last thing we're doing is a little organic honey.
Okay.
It's a nice local honey. It's a clove honey. It comes from a local farm right near us. And I like to use local honeys because it gets a lot of the flavors that are coming from the area, as well as, you know, if you have allergies and stuff, if you eat a teaspoon of local honey every day, they say that it can help your allergies over time. So this is the first dish, and very simple. I mean, take a bite, see what's going on there.
And the chicken is separate. You don't put that on.
No, the chicken is a completely separate dish, but it does take a little bit to cook. So I just wanted to get that started.
So can I try this?
Be my guest,
all right,
please.
Ready? It's messy.
It's supposed to be messy.
Well, I think that's when you're gathering and everybody's messy.
It's a lot of fun.
You got the goat cheese all over your lips, you know? This is delicious. I never would have put this together.
And it's so simple. I mean, it took us, what, a whole 30 seconds to assemble, and it's a nice something to have out on the table for when your guests come over.
And the honey on there is so good. It's wonderful. Should we have a little wine with it?
Please.
Okay, here's yours.
Thank you.
Here's looking at you, kid. You're the best. You should have won last night.
Thank you.
You're the winner in our hearts. Oh, this Riesling's nice with this.
It's nothing like drinking at 9.
I know, right? 10:30 live in the morning. So let's just go over this. So with the bread, you want a nice thick homemade bread. You want to slice it about 3/4 to an inch. And then you've got the salt, the pepper, turmeric, curry. Okay. And then you've got a little parsley, and you've got the figs. So you slice that up, and then just stick the prosciutto on there, the prosciutto.
The goat cheese.
Okay.
The dried figs.
And then the honey. And then over here with the chicken, that's going to take a little longer because obviously it's poultry. But you marinate it a little bit in the virgin olive oil.
With the spices and everything that we had going on. And what we're going to do is we're just going to serve it with a nice peanut sauce.
And here's the recipe if you want to take that. We'll have it on our website too.
And we make our own peanut sauce, but you know, for something like this, they sell it in all the supermarkets, so that way it's something that you can make for a dinner party and not take up too much time. Because my biggest thing is when I have a dinner party, I don't want to spend the time in the kitchen. I want to spend the time socializing. I want to interact with my guests. A lot of times you're in the kitchen and you're worrying about food. This is something that you can make and have in the refrigerator and then just pull it out of the refrigerator. This, you can have the chicken pretty much prepped and just throw it on the grill 10 minutes before your guests come. And then just plate it, and
so you're not all sweaty and cooking for everybody the whole time.
It's something that can hold. It's something that you can eat at room temperature. So it's all about really the family experience and being able to interact with your guests rather than, you know, dreading over what am I going to make.
Right.
It's
having something so
very
complicated.
Nice and simple.
This is nice. I could actually do this.
Again, it's all simple recipes.
Well, when we come right back, we're going to do scallops. We're going to do and I love this because it's basically a freebie. It's no carbs, hardly any calories, and delicious.
Very seasonal, a lot of color, a lot of bold flavors. It's a wonderful dish.
All right, we'll be right back with Chef George when the Dawn Show continues. Be right back.